The people that you spend time with are going to make or break your dreams. Everybody don't deserve to be around you. You got to defend your light with your life.
You know what I mean? If you want to stop motherfuckers from dealing dope on your block on the corner, walk up and hand them niggas a book. Get a book, man. Reading is fundamental. Fundamental. I don't go to church. God don't live in church. They say the body is the temple. I'm walking in church right now. It's written in your essence. You understand me? The Christians say Jesus is the messenger. The Muslims say it's Muhammad. I say, who gives a fuck who the messenger is? Did you get the message? They got the same damn message. Do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Science proves that to be a fact. For every action, there's an opposite and equal reaction. God didn't write no book. It's written in your essence.
Because if I just think, well, tomorrow I'm just going to coast and eat Twinkies and watch TV. Oh, hello, sadness, my old friend. Hello, depression. Because when you're not doing anything, you feel like shit. And that's just a part of being a human being. And we can pretend that we're something other than what we really are. And we can pretend, nah, me, man, I'm just cool, just chilling, doing nothing. Bullshit. You're a fucking human. You're a human being. You evolved from the fucking hundreds of thousands of years of hunters and gatherers and people that were struggling. Human reward systems are carved deeply into your DNA. And if you don't respect that, if you don't respect the mechanism of happiness and fulfillment and what you really need to do in order to feel satisfied in life, camaraderie, love, family, friendship, struggle, testing yourself, learning, all those things are imperative. They're all a giant part of being a person.
I don't care how good you are in anything. You don't have discipline, you ain't nobody.
Right.
You're nothing without discipline. Because you give up under the slightest struggle without discipline.
100%.
Discipline is doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it.
Doing what you hate to do, but do it like you love it. That is a great quote.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can do that, you could be successful in anything.
You know, you normally are.
If you want to become successful in life, young man, he said, number one, you got to change your mindset. He said, you don't get in life what you want, you get in life what you are. Number two, practice OQP, only quality people. You earn within $2,000 to $3,000 of your closest friends. I found that out. I left all my broke friends. I say, y'all got to go. Because I used to be so broke, I'd pass the bank and trip the alarm, you know? And the third thing he said, develop your communication skills, because once you open your mouth, you tell the world who you are.
A lot of people want to be successful, but they want to go to the club on Thursday, on Friday, on Saturday, on Sunday, and then on Monday, they're getting outperformed by everybody in the fucking office, and they're wondering, why don't I get the raise and the promotion? Shut your fucking ass up. That's why, man. Get to work, you know, and that's something that I do. I don't give a fuck about the social media, about even hanging out, man. If it's not productive to what I'm doing, I'd rather just get some rest time and go to sleep.
My dad, he always used to say to me, you don't want to look over your shoulder the rest of your life. He said, doesn't take much strength to pull a trigger. He said, try to get up, these are words in the movie, try to get up in the morning every day and go work for a living. That's a tough guy.
You're right.
That's a tough guy. It doesn't take much strength to pull a trigger. What is that? You want to go work for a living on a job you don't like to do, but you do it for the love of your family. That's a tough guy, he used to say. The guy was right.
Sometimes we get stuck in these situations where we're seeking the approval of someone for our self-esteem.
Yes.
Self-esteem is about yourself, right?
Absolutely.
But we start looking to other people for our self-esteem, and you know, sometimes we find ourselves looking in broken mirrors to get a reflection of ourselves, right? And the greatest tragedy is when you look into a broken mirror to see if you're pretty, right? And you're gonna let that person tell you about your inner qualities. And the greatest tragedy is when you look in a broken mirror and you're gonna change your face to try to look good in a broken mirror. Man.
That's what you gotta know when you choose your partner. Not, you know,
what you do for her, but what she could do for you when you at your lowest moment, or when you at your weakest moment, or when you at your moments of fucking up. Like how they, keep your back and keep you locked and loaded. Pick your partner wise, man, because, a lot of motherfuckers pick their partners based off of lust in the moment, and that's how that shit end. It end hard and fast. When you pick your partner right, that shit don't never end, it lasts.
Your mind has to be stronger than your feelings. Your mind has to be stronger than your feelings. Think about every poor decision you've made in your life. Gosh. There was more emotion that was involved in it than there was mind. Every single one of them. Think about it.
Really was.
Your feelings keep you in bed. Your mind tells you, get up. Think about it. Every single day, your mind is the one that tells you, get up. And your feelings like, an extra 30 minutes, just roll this. Don't worry about it. Well,
people talk about, life, family, balance. I had none. I mean, I literally remember dating some girl, and this is truth. And it was like, we'd been dating a couple years, and like, Mark, you're so into your work. I mean, I want a picket fence. I want a house. I want kids. It's me or your job. And I was like, or me or your company. And I was like, what's your name again? I'm like, if you don't know me well enough by now after dating 2 years to know that I'm driven on this, there was no balance.
If people are not listening to you, stop talking to them. And that is the best piece of advice that I can give you. And what happens is that if you stop talking to people who aren't listening to you and start watching them instead, they will tell you what they're up to. But so if you have things to say them, but you find people that will listen, talk to them. The ones who aren't listening, pull back. Because you're devaluing what you have to say by offering it to an audience that does nothing but reject it.
This is the gap when we start. This is the gap as you grow. Notice how you grow and they don't. So how do you close the gap? You got to come back down. When you come back down, you lose. So you got to keep going up. That's why closing that gap got to be them catching up to you. And if they don't catch up, you got to leave them behind, because you getting to the point now where you got to start cutting out.
Life is beautiful, but you have to accept the good and the bad as being beautiful. You can't accept the good, oh, this is beautiful. Then we lose someone, oh, life sucks. Life is beautiful because life gave us the ability to just know them on our journey in life. We met them. We loved them. We cared about them. They cared about us. That's the purpose of life, just to enjoy what we had, what we journeyed through it. Yeah, my pleasure, brother.
Yeah, that's my love. I needed it.
We all do. Because sometimes we don't understand, like, what is this thing? What is my purpose? Why am I here? Why do I have to go through this pain? Why do I have to go through this fear all the time? Why can't it just be peaceful all the time? Then it wouldn't be life. It wouldn't be life. We have to take life at its term, life on life terms, not life on our terms. We have to live life on life terms.
When I'm listening to people, so many people want to tell me their old story. I used to be this, I used to do that, we were this. I want to know where you're going. What's the new story? What's the new character? Quit telling me about the old character and the old chapters and the old versions of you. Who's the new character? And at any time in our life, honestly, we walk out this door, we can decide to be a new character. We can literally step into a new role. We can be a little more confident, a little bit more bold, a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more caring. Your former script is not your current one, but everyone keeps repeating the same script. And I'm just committed in my life. I struggle with this too, but I'm committed to thinking about the future, committed to thinking about the best version of me, not the current version.
Number one, learn to say no. You don't have to accept every invitation. You don't have to accept everything that anyone has to offer you. Learn to say no. Number two, learn to turn down sex, all right? All sex ain't good sex. The reality is, yeah, I know you want it, but there's a lot of baggage that comes with it. Learn that. Also, you need to learn this one. This is a big one. Learn to never trust her words and always trust her actions. Let her lie a little bit, all right? It's a little bit cute, all right? But they can tell some big lies that could destroy your life.
Yo, we all are great. We all should think that we're great. There's no reason for you to not think that you're great. If you don't think you're great, ask yourself why. Why don't you think the highest of yourself?
When you do, people have no choice but to follow suit.
People say you have to have a lot of passion for what you're doing, and it's totally true. And the reason is because it's so hard that if you don't, any rational person would give up. It's really hard, and you have to do it over a sustained period of time. So if you don't love it, if you're not having fun doing it, you don't really love it, you're going to give up. And that's what happens to most people, actually. If you really look at the ones that ended up being successful, unquote, in the eyes of society, and the ones that didn't, oftentimes it's the ones that are successful loved what they did so they could persevere when it got really tough. And the ones that didn't love it quit because they're sane, right? Who would want to put up with this stuff if you don't love it? So it's a lot of hard work, and it's a lot of worrying constantly. And if you don't love it, you're going to fail. So you got to love it. You got to have passion.
We don't know how to be kind to us. I thought being kind to myself was fucking a lot of girls and buying a bunch of cars and planes and stuff in the house. I thought that was being nice to myself. Being nice to myself was just being grateful for what I had and not wanting anymore. What did I do? I lost all that shit and people stole and stuff. I didn't know what the fuck I wanted that stuff for. I was just taught that if you had that, your life would be changed. You would be happy if you had all that stuff. I didn't know happiness was in between my brain. I didn't know that. I thought happiness was things.